Hello everybody, I'm Bill Warner with Outernaut. This video is about the team. We just got through the previous two videos when you're doing your market research and you're looking for advisors, believe it or not. You also got to be thinking about the team you're going to put together to actually pull this off. You got to have a dynamite team. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Now, what does this mean to you? It means that you got to make some choices of the people that, quite frankly, are going to surround you, probably working for the company that you're starting, not distant advisors and people you'll see occasionally. These are people that are going to be in your company or they're really, really significant subcontractors. I'll get to that kind of thing in a minute. But think mainly of the people that are going to fill the main positions of your company and are going to report to you and you're going to be working with for the rest of your life. Not quite that bad, but for a long time, for as long as your company exists, for sure. So you got to pick them right. So I want to talk to you about what right might be for you. So let's get on into this. So obviously, you want to bring people into your company that have relevant experience, not just plain old experience, relevant experience. They may know the market you're in, they may have participated in the market you're in, they may have been consultants, they may have been in key roles with other companies, but they have gained experience and know a lot about your market. Well, coupled with that, they have to have serious experience in the disciplines they're going to perform for your company. What I mean by disciplines, I mean the roles they're going to play. They could be your marketing VP. They could be head of development. They could be your out front salesperson. They may be in the back room doing manufacturing and warehousing and distribution and managing distribution channels and all that sort of stuff. People you bring in that are going to play roles like that, make sure they've done it before. Look, I tell entrepreneurs all the time, you need to hire A players. A players are ones with experience and know what they're doing because they've done it before and they've lived the experience that's like yours, similar to yours, maybe exactly the same as yours. But they're not newbies. Those are C players. You need capital A number one players. So if you're going to hire a person in marketing, make sure that they have done marketing campaigns or played a marketing role in another company. Maybe you're going to bring in a marketing person that has been running a marketing consulting company, but they've got to know your industry. They got to know what the right strategy is. Think through what it is you're looking for every one of these positions. Head of development, I hope this person has head up development teams for the last 10, 15 years and in the kind of applications and the platforms that my software is going to be running on. If I'm running a services company, I want somebody that really knows how to put together a service methodology and probably has done a few that are very similar to the ones that we're going to need. You kind of got the point. Experience and discipline. Man, think of those two things first. If they don't pass those two tests as for your choices, don't go any further. Go look for somebody else. Honest to God. You do not have the time to carry around a C player and explain to them how to do their job and what you want from them. You want people that, quite frankly, already know how, and they'll tell you how they're going to do it. And you're going to listen and follow their instructions unless you're kind of unequal to them. So I've hammered that a lot. Let's move on to other characteristics when you make these choices. It would be really good if they're well connected people. They have connections, particularly in the markets they're in or have been in, and particularly in performing the disciplines. They know subcontractors. If they're in manufacturing, they know a lot of manufacturing companies nationally and internationally, perhaps. A lot of manufacturing is done less expensively in foreign countries. A person with those kinds of connections is going to be very valuable. Connections in all sorts of arenas that their job is going to need to call upon. So connectedness is pretty important, right up there with disciplines and experience. On the soft side of things, you've got to kind of respect this individual. You're going to spend some time to get to know them. Find out what kind of leader and manager they are. Do they have good, solid leadership experience? You may have gotten that from the questions you ask about their experience, but now you want to check out references and make sure that their leadership style and the leadership habits that they carry out, their method of leading people, the style they have, do they relate to people well or not? You're going to ask questions of them of how they handle certain leadership challenges and see what kind of answers you get. You want to get really responsible answers from somebody that you're now convinced is a seasoned executive, seasoned manager, and can lead people. In other words, they're not the type of person that comes to work, goes to their office, closes the door, never to be seen until 5 o'clock, and is always on the computer and doesn't talk to people a lot. You want somebody who is engaging, outgoing, has empathy, is a good listener. I have a whole playlist on this subject alone. This is a long one. Take a look at it and then use the examples I talk about in there to gauge the people you want to bring on board and put in leadership positions. Now, there's a very special person that's joining your company. These are the founders. These are other people that are joining you, and probably you personally, because you may have worked together before, good chance of it. These are people you already know well. You've already been thinking about starting the company together. So there's maybe 2, 3, 4 of you. You know, it's not an army, but it's some key individuals have convinced each other that they want to do this company together. So these founder relationships are very important because it's very hard to fire one of you founders because you have stock in the company. And there's a lot of stuff you've got to do. If you don't get along with a founder, you're going to have a lot of challenges to find a way for that person to leave the company. But more importantly, that's on the kind of the negative side. More importantly, these are people you just absolutely get along with, highly respect, and it's mutual. You trust each other implicitly. So as you form your founding team, just be sure of all these things, that this is going to work and you're convinced of it. If you have any doubts about it, you've got to get it out in the open and talk to the other person that you're concerned about. So pay special attention to the founder relationships. It's long lasting, and there's a lot of contractual arrangements that you're going to become aware of that you're going to be putting in place to, quite frankly, share ownership of this company with them. And that's always a discussion that is very unique. And if you want help on how to have that conversation, I'd be glad to help you. But it's got to be handled very openly and very succinctly. And quite frankly, fairly. Build off the trust you have for one another. It can be done. Now, there are others that you could consider as being part of your team, and I've talked about that mainly with advisors and business coaches and mentors and attorneys and accountants in a previous video. So you should, though, consider them part of your team. These are working relationships that you also have to nurture. So make sure that you've got a number of outside parties, the consultants and the mentors and legal people and accountants and things like that you trust and continue to build trust, and include them in your deliberations on whatever issues that you're handling that they're experts in. Call upon them. Many of these people that you met in your research could become subcontract relationships that you have, and utilize them and get benefit from the advice and guidance that they can provide you. So that's it for the team and what it takes to put it together, and the things you've got to think about. In Ontradot, we call this, and many other things that go on at this stage of the forming of a business, we call it creation. No biblical intents here, but you're creating a company. One of the big things you've got to do, probably one of the most important things you've got to do, in addition to having a really solid plan for your business, is to have a really solid team to pull it off with people you trust implicitly. That's it for now on the creation of your team. So pick the best team, like I just got through talking about. You pick them carefully, do your due diligence, and make sure that you've got the right team. And as you have the right team surrounding you, you have a great day